Hey, Tubular viewers, how's it going? I'm Donnie.
I'm Chloe.
And we are Freedom Imagined. So, I was contacted recently by a company named Jackery, and they asked me if I would do a review of their product. So that's what we're doing today. We're going to review the Jackery 1000 portable power pack and the 100 watt solar panel that they could also sell that plugs into the power pack so you can run it off solar. So stick around, here we go. Hey guys! So first we're going to do the unboxing. This is the box that it came in when they shipped it to me. So we're going to open this and see how it's packaged inside. So go ahead, Chloe, open it up.
They taped it well, tell you that. The struggles are real. Oh yay, another box. How wonderful. So inside the first box came another box. You can cut this one, Dad.
And by the power of editing, boom!
So now this is the actual box.
So here's the box that it comes in. Got a carrying handle. It shows the Jackery 1002 watt hours, 100 watt constant. I believe the guide says it's 2000 watt peak. So this is the largest one they currently make. And again, by the power of editing, and there we go. So
there you go.
In the box is the Jackery 1000 itself. Sorry.
You're good.
We'll go into the details of the Jackery here in a few minutes.
And just to show,
like I said, the pigtail for hooking up the two solar panels.
Just to show, this is super, super heavy.
We'll get more into detail on that, but I believe it is 22 pounds. And then yes, here is the power plug in this pouch. So you have your 12 volt plug. Plug it into a cigarette lighter and charge it. You have your 110 plug, and then they both plug into the actual power adapter, which plugs in right there. So again, we'll get into more of that later and further into the video, but there we go. Now we're going to go to the unboxing of the solar panel. Alright guys, so in the interest of time and you guys not staring there watching me be a dumb fiddling with the box, I already took the solar panels out of the shipping box. Just like the Jackery, they're also in another box. I'm slightly concerned. The shipping box came, it has a big gash in, and then when I opened up this, there's a big gash in this one right here, as you can see. So let's take the solar panels out and see what they look like and see how they fared up. Yeah.
Ooh.
So as you see, it is bubble wrapped.
You can tell it has a little hole right there.
Yep, you can see right there where it did pop the bubble wraps. However, that seems to be on a hard place in between two pouches. I think they're two pouches. We'll see once we get it out. Okay, Chloe, pull it out.
Whoa! It
Yeah.
It has a really cool protective covering.
Put it down. Thank you. Alright, so yeah, it looks like where the cardboard, or where the cardboard box was broken or was punctured, is right where the Velcro leg is. This is so when you have it open, you can pop it up like this. You see there's one on this side too, because it actually magnets itself shut and then opens up. So there's two solar panels with two Velcro things, and you can point it in the direction you wanted the sun, so you're good to go. In this pouch right here, you have the cord, which would plug in directly to the Jackery, where I showed you the power plug goes. And you have a USB-C 5-volt 3-amp and a USB-A 6-volt 2.4-amp plugs. So you could, in theory, plug your cell phone or your laptop or whatever off of USB directly into the solar panels, and you wouldn't even need the Jackery to charge that. You could save your Jackery battery for other things, or plug it in here and charge your phone while you're charging the Jackery and using it. So that's something that's neat. And then that pigtail splitter that I showed you that came with the Jackery, this will plug into that and it will go into the other port for charging. I will show you that port and the other plug that I'm talking about when we get more details. So stick around and stand by for more details on the Jackery. Okay, as you can see, plugged directly into my camper, into a regular 110 plug. We are bouncing between 158 to 161 watts of power going into it. So we will keep track of that. Keep watching, see if it goes too far below or too far above that. And I'll keep you updated later. Alright guys, so here is the actual Jackery. I know we did a real quick review earlier when I was showing it to you. But, so let's get an in-depth look at it. So right here, this is the plug we talked about. Just a standard plug for your power. This is the solar panel singly can plug into it, or your 12 volt cigarette lighter plug. You can charge this in your car while you're driving down the road, or your 110 plug. As I had talked earlier in this handy dandy little kit, you have your power converter box. So with the exception of the solar panel, no matter how you charge this, you're going to be using this block. So if you're using the 110 plug, like we did last night when we charged it, this plugs into the block plugs into this. Oh, goodness. You have your 12 volt, which plugs into the block, and the block plugs into this. So this is going to be your charger no matter which way you charge it, unless you're using the solar panels. Like we said yesterday, solar panels plug directly into this. Now, if you are using two solar panels, you would end up using what they call the Anderson plug. Okay. So we'll start with nifty features, not function features, but fun features. A nifty little LED light. Very bright. I tried it last night just to see. It'll light up the side of your camper if you need to see something. If, say, your hot water heater goes out or something like that, or you know, you're on the side of the road driving down the road and you need a light, or say you take this tent camping and you need it to see in the camper, this light will definitely light up the inside of your tent. Alright, so back to the front. Got a nifty little display. Push the button, the display comes on. See, we're at 100%. We have an input to tell me how many watts is going into it. Earlier in the video I told you, how many watts we were putting into it plugged into the camper. And then you got an output, which you see the screen just went off. Saves you power by the screen not always staying on. When it's not in use, the screen goes off. And then down here is the output watts. So once we plug it in, we can see how many watts are being drawn off of it. And then that'll allow us, if we know the math, to go ahead and calculate how many hours this thing's going to run based off of our usage. You have your AC over here. That's your 110 plug. You can plug in your hair dryer, your curling iron, your coffee pot, your Keurig, if you want to do a quick Keurig. You can do, an electric frying pan, a toaster oven even. Not too large a one because some of them take quite a few watts to run. You can plug all them in here. And the nice thing is, these are not turned on until you hit this button. Did you hear that little sound it made? That's the fan inside when you turned on the inverter. This has a pure sine wave inverter built into it. It is designed to give you safe power for your sensitive electronics, such as your tablets, your cell phones, your laptops, things that a jumbled power source could potentially hurt. Well, this is a pure sine wave, and it is safe to plug your cell phones and tablets and stuff directly into. Turn that off. Not in use anymore. Hear the fan again? Then over here you have your DC side. DC side gives you a USB-C, another USB-C, a 5 volt 2.4 amp, and then a quick charge, which they're calling 3 amps, regular USB plugs. And then of course you have a 10 amp 12 volt plug right there that you can plug things like, say you have a little 12 volt car air compressor, and you need to plug it in, you're not near your car, you're using the compressor for something. I don't know what you would, but maybe if you're an off-roading guy and you take your four-wheeler off a beaten path to go camping or something like that, you can plug the air compressor right into that. If you're camping in a tent and you want to take a TV, a 12-volt TV, you'll plug right into there. The options are limitless because, like I said, you have 12-volt cigarette lighter, your USBs, and your AC plugs, your 110 AC plugs, all built right into the box, all running off of the 1,000-watt, 1,002 watt-hour battery. The case itself, very sturdy, very thick, heavy plastic. As I showed you the flashlight over here, you have this nice thick plastic grid here that has your grill grate in it. That's where the fan blows the warm air out when the inverter's on and actually running. Back, very simple, nothing on the back of the thing. And then this would be like the air intake. As the fan's blowing out this side, air's coming in this side. And the bottom has these nice little rubber feet. So when you set it like on the floor, it is vibrating. It doesn't really go anywhere. You see how we're vibrating the table, but the Jackery's not really sliding when I'm doing that. So, nice feature of this is everything's all on the front panel that you would use to do your power source. The only thing not on the front panel would be the little flashlight. So you're not, flipping it around to get to different points. 12 volts not on one side, then the 110's on the other side. It's all right here on an easy use, easy to see display. It does come with a little instruction card. I know. Guys don't read instruction cards. But for the purpose of this video, we're going to open it and I'm going to see what's in here. So they have a Jackery warranty card. It has a 24-month limited warranty, lifetime technical support. It's got a little card with a flow chart. Pretty little graphics on the front of the card there. And then they give you a little card here that says register now to get an extra 12 months, so that would be 36 months warranty. And then here's the actual user manual. I'm not going to read the user manual to you. I'm not going to sit here and be a death by PowerPoint guy, but I'm just going to open it up here and show you. It lays out the Jackery for you so you can see, you know, all the stuff that I just pointed out.
Hi guys.
And then on the back of the card talks about the warranty. So that is the Jackery. So let's put it to use and see what we can do. Alright guys, so now for the test. I'm going to unplug the camper, turn on the power inverter, and plug the camper into the Jackery. Let's see what happens. As you can see, I already have a 30 amp to 15 amp plug made to put on this. I'm already plugged into 15 amp over here, so alright, now that it's plugged in and seems to be steady, we're at like 126, 128 watts, so it's drawing 126 to 128 watts. So let's go inside and turn some things on, then we'll come back out and check on, you know, what this does watt-wise. Alright, let's turn on some things. Ooh, it's dark in here. So step one, turn on the 12 volt lights. While we're at it, let's turn on my fluorescent 110 lights. Turn on the motor. Somebody's gotta get a little crazy. Oh, can't play that too loud. Copyright music. So it's on, but the volume's down. And we'll walk into the bathroom here. Turn on the bathroom lights, which are 12 volt as well, up there. And then the bathroom vent fan. So that'd be realistically what I'd be using if it was nighttime and we were in the camper and I needed to use the power. So let's go out and see how much power that draws. Alright, as you saw, we turned on the vent fan, we turned on the lights, we turned on a radio, and let's see what having all of that on actually does. 344 watts. Now you're not going to have your vent fan running all the time, the radio on all the time, and the lights on all the time, but it's a good thing to know because, so if we take our 1002 watt hours divided by the 344 hours, that'll give you roughly what? A little less than 4 hours worth of running, all that stuff at a constant. Oh yeah, and I also have a phone plugged in and they're charging. So let's turn some of that stuff off and let it sit at a standard state. I'll turn the radio off and we'll turn the lights off and just see what sitting, running the fridge and the camper and charging a cell phone would do. So check that out. We'll come back and see what the results are. So one thing I noticed was when we first plugged it in, it was at, I believe I said 336 watts running everything. And when it wasn't running everything, before we turned everything on, it was like, I believe it was 130 something. You know, you can go back in the video and watch if you want to get the actual numbers. But after turning everything back off and coming out and checking, we are at 70 to 72 watts. So under 100 watts just running just the refrigerator. So I believe when we first turned it on and plugged everything in, or plugged it in before turning everything on, the compressor was probably running on the refrigerator. And now the compressor's turned off, so it's just in maintain mode. And that 70 to 72 watts is running things like there's a night light plugged in and probably the battery charger for my 12 volt lights that are running off the 12 volt battery. So as you can see, we're not drawing many watts right now. Okay, so here we are was having camera issues, so we're a little bit past what I was at, but we are at the 4-hour mark, and it just dropped down to 48%, actually past the 4-hour mark. At the 4-hour mark, we were at 49%. So far, not too bad. There we are, we're down to 1%. We are at 7 hours and 18 minutes. So this thing ran 7 hours and 18 minutes, mostly during the day. But as night got here, it went a lot quicker, obviously, because lights were on a lot more and we're drawing a lot more amps on a lot more wattage on a more regular routine. So I'm going to stop it there. Probably only have a couple more minutes, but yep, so that is that. And stick around and we're going to do a little more experimenting with it. Alright, so a little test of the solar panels this morning. As you can see, it's a crappy day out. Barely any sun shining. So I set the solar panel up, facing away from the trees, and then decided to plug my cell phone into it. And as you can see, it is charging. So even on a crappy, cloud-covered, foggy morning, the solar panel will still put out enough power to work on charging your cell phone.
Hey guys, so we have the solar panels all set up with the Jackery. So the solar panels are plugged in to the Jackery right now, and the Jackery is plugged into our camper. We have the fridge running off of it, a night light running off of it, that's still plugged in.
And I think your bathroom light.
And our bathroom light is on. But that's it so far.
It looks like your brother just went in and turned something on because it jumped. So, but let's go down here and look. As you can see, my input is 126, 127, 122. It's bouncing around, but we're staying above 122 watts coming in. The output, with just the fridge and a couple small things plugged in, what we would use during the daytime, because you don't really use lights during the day, is at 78 watts. So I'm currently bringing in more power than I'm putting out. Plugged in, charging, and running the camper effectively during a end of September in Pennsylvania where you're not really getting a whole lot of solar. That's not bad at all. That is not bad at all. Hey guys.
Hey!
So, time for some final thoughts. The product itself, overall, awesome product. Very durable, like we talked about earlier in the video. The quality of the build of the Jackery, the power pack itself, awesome. Heavy duty plastic, the way it's built so all your interfaces are all on one side of it. You know, the in fan one side, the out fan blowing the other side when you have the inverter running, great. Solar panels, they are not super solid rigid, so you're not going to have to worry about bending them accidentally when you go to put them in a cabinet or something. They, you know, and they flap shut, just like that. The magnets on them, that's a nice touch. Helps keep it together. You don't have to strap it shut or anything like that. The little flaps on the back of the solar panel is great. Length of the cord, awesome. The only thing I don't like about the solar panels, the cord is hardwired into the back. And I'll cut in here to a little picture of what I'm talking about. So that's what I'm talking about. If something happens to this cord, the solar panel essentially is needing to be replaced. So that's the only thing I don't like about the design of the solar panels. If they had a cord with the same plug-in that you put on the back, or that you put into the Jackery, on the little box that plugs into the solar panel for the cord, so the cord would be essentially replaceable, I think that would probably be a better idea. I watched a couple videos a couple nights ago on the Jackery and on the solar panels, and it seems I'm not the only one that had that thought. It does seem that that's a common complaint. Other than that, the cords seem thick and heavy, so, you know, short of slamming it in a door or somebody not paying attention and running it over, I don't think you're going to have any problems. But that's just the only problem I can foresee with it. The Jackery itself, I don't foresee any issues with the way it's built. Everything seems heavy duty. There's nothing that comes off of it that you can't plug in or not. As far as suitability, for somebody like me that has a camper, a regular size, I have a fifth wheel, or if you had a van conversion or a regular camper van and you wanted this for backup power, or if you were a contractor and you wanted to keep it in your trailer and take it to job sites, that size, the 1002 watt hour, 1000 watt Jackery, definitely the way to go. More power than you could ever want. Hook it up to the solar panels, and as I said earlier in the video, I'm making more power than my camper is drawing right now. And that's at the end of summer when the sun is not the brightest, not giving us the most amount of power. So that's awesome. If I was somebody that was looking to take it backpacking or wanted to keep my weight minimal, I wouldn't go with the 1000. I would go with something like the 200 or the either 500 or 550. They have two other versions, a 200, 500, and 1000. I believe those, but it may be 220 or 200, but nonetheless, they have 200 something, a 5 something, and then the 1000. If I was a minimalist with minimal on the weight, I would go with the 200 for backpacking, because all you're going to do is plug in your cell phones, maybe use it for lights at night and stuff like that. If you were somebody who likes having toys, I'd get one of each, simply because then you'd have one for all occasions. Keep the 200 for when you wanted to go tenting. Keep the big one for when you wanted to do heavy duty jobs. In the middle of the road one, you keep in your car for, you know, when you go on road trips and you want to charge your cell phones and stuff, and you want to charge your laptop if you're a YouTuber or something like that, all off that. So they do make something that suits all different lifestyles. Company seems excellent to work for. You saw the shipping and the packaging that it came in. Packaging was pretty good. Bubble wrap, heavy duty foam inside the Jackery box, keeping it off the sidewalls. So I say with any shipping you're going to have issues. You saw the box was kind of tattered up a little bit. That was a shipping company. That wasn't Jackery. But because they put it in a box, inside that box, it was protected, and we haven't had any issues. So for me, it gets 2 thumbs up. Hey Dustin.
Yeah.
What do you give the Jackery?
2 thumbs up, but if I had more, I would give it more thumbs up.
See that? If he had more than 2 thumbs, he'd give it all his thumbs up. So altogether, great product. Disclaimer, I'm not getting paid to make this video. I'm not getting paid to do this review. I am in no way, shape, or form affiliated with Jackery. This is my honest review of the product. I spoke with my parents, my brother, my friends, and they all seem to have the same opinion. It's an awesome product, seems very well built, and well worth the startup cost. That being said, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.
Bye! Bye, everyone.